r/AskReddit by Galaxy Reddit. What's the funniest thing that's happened to you during sex? I was with a girl who liked to wrestle a bit and be held down, except she was a dancer with incredibly powerful legs and I underestimated her, and she accidentally kicked me in the chest and broke one of my ribs. Fatality. Imagine explaining that to the doctors. Well doc, I was wrestling my GF to the ground while we are both completely naked and well she kicked me in the chest. Sex injuries are so ridiculously common it's almost lost its humor. Almost. We've been in an ongoing Nerf war since I want to say February. Recently she pulled a pistol from underneath her pillow and shot me point blank while I came. Edit. Wow. Thanks everyone. To clarify, I was on top and she shot me in the chin. She was aiming for my mouth. It's Nerf or nutting. Holy FK. Well done. I wish I was clever like this. Shot. I read that in Unreal Tournament narrator's voice. Shot. Adrenaline full. When I first started dating my girlfriend I stepped on a bottle of lube spraying it all over her wall and then slipped on it, fell on the floor, then subsequently farted on impact. 2 seconds later the Canada Day fireworks went off in the harbor downtown. True story. I wish I could make that my signature move. Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious. That sounds like it would be straight out of a sitcom. As I was going down on my wife, the cat decided it would be a good time to climb and sit on top of my head. I tried to ignore it, but when she looked down she started laughing so hard that it killed the mood for the rest of the night. Sigh sandwich. Edit. My first award. And it's about sigh. Woohoo. Boyfriend was going down on me. He started doing a Cookie Monster impression while he was down there. Made me laugh so hard I let out a little fart right on his face. Coochie Monster. I was going down on my GF in high school. I was kneeling next to the bed with her legs hanging off the end. I was fully erect and my cat came from under the bed and licked the tip of my pens. Scared the shit out of me. If you have ever felt a cat's tongue you'll know how horribly uncomfortable that felt on the tip of my member. Looks like your DCK touched the wrong sigh. While he was licking the sigh licked him. Turns out the headboard was exactly the right height to sit on for a BJ. Turns out the headboard wasn't strong enough to hold his weight. They don't call it a headboard for nothing. Edit. Thank you for the gold. I'm not sure how to use it, but I appreciate it. One of the very first times I ever had sex, I looked out my window to see my neighbor having sex with his girlfriend. He noticed me and nodded was at mid-stroke. Later found out that the girl he was having sex with at that moment was my neighbor from the house that I had just moved away from like 6 months prior. My new neighbor was fucking my old neighbor and I saw them while having sex with my girlfriend. Ripped a fart accidentally when I came on her TTS. Her face went from pleasure to just a dead stare while holding her TTS. For mobile. I was sitting on his face for the first time while he ate me out and I squirted without even realizing. Instant waterboard. I noticed he made a weird face and thought maybe I was smothering him too much, but instead he made a run for the bathroom to spit it all out. Killed the mood because we were laughing so hard and now I joke to him about how he doesn't swallow. Successfully asserted dominance. Edit. Thank you for the gold and silver. Please don't give me gold, donate to your local food pantry. This happened to me once, but she peed on me instead. Never really wanted to know what urine tastes like. Confirmed that I'm not into golden showers and had to get a few swallows in, so I didn't choke. Luckily she noticed pretty quickly. Edit. Lots of replies saying it's all pee. She squirted fairly regularly, and this was the only time it tasted, lol, like urine. I'm sure you're all correct, but I do make a distinction. Mid-anal she decides she wants to 69. She gets off my DCK and spins around to suck while I eat her out. And she must have relaxed too much because she took a shit on my face. We are getting married next year. Luckily she found it hilarious because I was mortified. Judy scared the shit out of her. Edit. Transforming dinosaur. Thanks for the platinum man. In middle of it, we heard her little brother jokingly yell from the other side of the door, don't be FKING. Then he ran in. Didn't have any time to hide, so I just stared at him. He yelled OFK and ran out of the room. Other thing that is more embarrassing than funny, but my GF's mother has the tendency to either not knock at all or knock on the door, but no wait at all before ushering in. Most of the time we've managed to hide. Of course she probably always knows what has been happening, but at least she hasn't seen me fully naked a whole lot. But once my GF was sitting on top of me and her mom came in. GF managed to grab a blanket, but she literally sitting on top of me isn't obvious at all. Edit. No, her door doesn't have a lock. I'm acknowledging your privacy by knocking, but coming in anyway. I smashes the door down immediately. One of the first times I ever had sex with my wife, I was trying to jack off on her face, and I was using my spit as lube. She said you're getting spit on the face, but I heard spit on my face. So I did, and we both died of laughter. Either first or second time I had sex with my ex, we'd literally just finished, as in I hadn't even pulled out of her yet and her mum walks in. We both freeze and I didn't look because her mum was a bit fierce and all I hear is "Oh, I thought you were just friends," and then the door closes again. My ex bursts out laughing, and about 5 minutes later I hear her mum on the phone telling her sister. I had gone over to this guy's house wearing my new Vans shoes. I was in high school, so these $50 shoes were my Sunday's best. We went upstairs and started going at it. He was behind me and I was facing the window to the backyard. Like 5 minutes in I see his dog run into the backyard and tear one of my new shoes apart all over the grass. I thought it was so funny I couldn't even be upset. I miss that dog. This was legitimately the only one in this entire thread that made me say oh no. You can wash poop off balls, or farts off faces, or whatever, but you can't uneat them. Vans was doing it with someone, and our friend knocks on the door. Hey, I have a question. Not now, insert number here. Seriously, you guys want to throw around a baseball? Edit. Did not expect my biggest karma count to be about my sex life. Thank you, Reddit. She was on her knees, face down on the bed, and I ate her out. That fucking fart blast that just stripped right up my nose gave me a good scare. We both farted at the exact same time whilst maintaining eye contact. That's when you know you've found the one. She passed out while on top of me right before I had to leave, so I couldn't get up. And that was the first time I've ever used a sick day at work. What a call to make. Sorry I can't come in today. We did it, and she passed out on top of me. Yeah, I'm that good. They pass out after from the pure joy. Should be in tomorrow, unless it happens again. We were doing the deed and the guy felt a fart coming. To his credit, he warned me and tried to cover the noise by singing in a high-pitched voice. For a solid 10 seconds he was farting machine gun style while yodeling loudly. Still not the worst sex I've had. An ex of mine curled and farted right in succession when we were nearly at the point of climax. She was absolutely mortified, but I thought it was the funniest thing ever at the time, and it honestly just made me feel more comfortable with her. It was, however, very sad how bad she felt about it. She legitimately thought I would never want to touch her again simply for having natural bodily emissions. Honestly, it never fails to depress when I hear the kinds of things that partners think will make me less attracted to them. My girlfriend was on top and her Fitbit starts going off. She looks at it and throws her hands up and says yes. I met my steps goal. A cop knocked on the window of the car we were in. He seemed more embarrassed than us. Turns out he'd been dating the girl I was with. Very awkward to say the least. I felt kinda shitty about that. I remember she had like the loudest queef ever, and she was so embarrassed, but I couldn't contain my laughter. Oh my god, I think I was crying of laughter. It wasn't the first time she had queefed during sex, but this time it was so loud, oh boy, I felt so bad afterwards. She became a bit self-conscious because I was her first ever sexual partner. So after the fact, I remember we sat down and talked about how it was natural and there was nothing wrong with it. I mean, she was my wife, so I obviously was supportive. But I'll never forget that loud ass queef. I met a guy off of Craigslist once. I only share this story with my closest friends, so here goes nothing. I was trying to get over someone I loved who had just moved away, so I decided to do this on a whim. The guy from Craigslist literally looked like the spitting image of Paul Rudd. No joke. So I was like, FK, yes, let's do this. We started making out, and our clothes started coming off. Things start getting hot and heavy. I grabbed his hair to pull on it a little, and it fking comes off. His hair was in my hands. I realized within about 5 seconds of silence that I had just pulled a toupee off of his head. And then I started to cry. Because wow, I can't trust anybody. Not even their hair. I spent the next 10 minutes trying to convince him that I wasn't crying because of his toupee. It partially was and wasn't. Looking back at it now, I think it's hilarious, but at the time I was mortified. Thank you very much for watching. Write in the comments below the video, what's the funniest thing that's happened to you during sex? And also do not forget to watch our other videos. Bye.